let's talk about completing our value worksheet here. There are 3 parts to our value worksheet. Let me zoom out a little bit here. We have, what I say is the first thing to do is the box. I call this the wavy slide. And then I have 3 circles up here. And that's the order I do them in. Box, slide, circles. Okay. You're going to need a drawing pencil, not a mechanical pencil for this. Mechanical pencils do not work very well for shading. I would also get a piece of paper towel. And it's never a bad idea to have a sharpener around to make sure your pencil is nice and sharp. I've already sharpened mine. All right, first thing you want to do on this worksheet is get your name at the top, followed by your attendance number, so we know who this worksheet is. All right. Then, as I said, we're going to start with the box. We're going to apply 3 different values or shades of gray to this box. All right. We got the front, the top, and the side. The front of the box is going to be our lightest value possible. That is white. Well, the box is already white because the paper's white, so you already have, let's say, first one done. Now, the side of the box here, that's going to be our darkest value. Black, okay? So we're going to shade this one in black. Now, when shading black, you hold the pencil up towards the tip, very tight, just like writing. You can hold it pretty strong there. You're going to push very hard, all right? And this will produce the darkest value the pencil can, okay? And you want to be careful not to go out of bounds when shading black, because if you do go out of bounds, it is not going to erase very well because you are pushing so hard it grinds that graphite right into the paper and doesn't come out, okay? So be careful. All right, take your time getting this in. I am not going to color the whole thing in to save a little time on this video, okay? So you would finish that. Now we got white, we got black, and then we got the top here. This is going to be gray. Not just any gray. I'm going to call this one what we call middle gray. It is in the middle. It is not dark gray. It is not light gray. It is kind of in the middle, all right? And that's kind of a value judgment there. I'm going to sharpen my pencil again. Now, for shading anything but black, I am going to not hold the pencil like I'm writing. I am going to hold the pencil at the back here with, I like to use a 3-finger grip. 3 fingers, place them there. I place my middle finger there underneath. It kind of rests on it. And the other 2 on top of it like that. Now what that does is it allows me to push down on the pencil like that to apply pressure. The harder I push here, the darker it gets there. If I want to get a little darker, I can choke up on the pencil and hold a little bit higher and push down. But I want to go the middle gray towards the back there. If I want to go a little bit lighter here, a little bit darker there. All right, so right about there, I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to go back and forth. Don't worry if you go out of bounds on this, that you can practice over time getting better controlling it and stopping. So if I'm way out here, that's fine. And I want to go in at least 2 directions. I was going in this direction. Watch, just turn the paper. You didn't have to move your hand at all. And go in another direction. See, this will allow me to get up to some of these edges that I didn't do a good job at getting up to. It's going to fill it in, it'll make it a little more even. It's going to put more graphite on the paper, which you're going to see is important for our next step, blending. Okay? Blending is taking a paper towel and kind of rubbing that graphite into the paper. Now, a lot of beginning artists will use their fingers. I do not recommend that. You could have oil, dirt, grease, who knows what on your finger. Get a nice piece of paper towel. I like to fold it up so I can be very accurate. And I just take this, I do little circles or back and forth, just like that. A couple different directions. It evens the tone out, makes it a zone, an area of gray. It shouldn't look scribbly at all. Now, because I held my pencil towards the back and at a low angle like I did, look at how nice and neatly that all erases. I just clean that stuff up. And there you go. It should be an even area of gray, no scribbling. If you're getting a lot of scribbling, again, hold that pencil at a lower angle. Shouldn't see it pointing up like this. And going multiple directions, a little more blending. Give that a try. All right, let's move over to the wave here. We have 7 boxes on this. I'm going to start at the top here with white, already done. I'm going to do at the bottom here, we're going to get black. And that's going to be just like I did over here. I'm going to push, hold up towards the front, push really hard. Color that in. Shouldn't see any white area. Try to stay in the boxes. Fill up that whole box, okay? Sometimes you're gonna have to sharpen your pencil after doing that black box there because it really wears the pencil down. Then, right in this middle here, I'll just use this. A nice middle gray once again. So I'm gonna practice those 3 things that I just did in the box. I'm gonna go low pencil, back and forth, multiple directions. You can go in more than 2. Here's a 3rd direction. I said at least 2. You can go in more. Then paper towel, blend, and clean. Now you can see I still have 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes left. I got my white, middle gray, and black. Let's go up towards white first. So in this box, I'm going to do a light gray, all right? Right there. For a light gray, I'm gonna hold a little bit further back on my pencil. I'm gonna again go back and forth, but I'm gonna push lighter. You gotta be really soft on the paper here. You should notice a difference between the 2. I'm gonna turn that, I'm gonna go in a 2nd direction, make sure I get up to all the edges, fill in a little more graphite, fill in any areas I may have missed. 3rd direction, okay. We're gonna blend that in. Careful, I already have some graphite on this paper here, which might be a little darker than this area. I do that, it could cause that area to get a little darker. If so, maybe refold the paper towel. Okay, what I should be able to do is cover these 2 up and notice a difference between the 2. If not, maybe if these are too similar, and I did get a little gray in there, I can go a little darker here. Maybe I add a little more graphite into this one, and I re-blend it. And maybe it wasn't middle enough. Maybe it was too light before. So now I can notice a good difference there. I'm gonna blend that in. I'm gonna save my cleaning up for later. Now, in this next box, I'm gonna go really light gray. But it's not white. I'm gonna still be able to see it. I'm gonna way back on that pencil, and I'm gonna go as light as possible. Might even be hard to see on this video. First, I'm gonna erase this stuff. I think that's what messed me up in that box below it. Might be hard to see in this video. It might not even pick it up, but the human eye would be able to see this, making it different. It's a little bit darker than white, a little bit lighter than light gray. Now what we're practicing here is applying even pressure with the pencil and going in multiple directions. Again, be careful. Use a nice fresh area on the paper towel. If these two are too similar, maybe I need to go a little darker on this one. And this is making adjustments, and that is part of drawing, okay? Don't think, oh, I'm no good because I didn't get right on the first try. Very rare does that happen. So I'm going a little bit darker on this one, second direction. And now I can see 3 nice different values. Actually 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 if you count black. Now we're going to go down towards black here. Right in this one, I'm going to go dark gray. I'm going to hold a little closer towards my pencil. I'm going to push a little harder. I like to start right next to the middle gray, get it a little bit darker, and then use that same pressure as I go across. Oh, there's something on the table that's giving me a little dent there. That's what that little black dot was. So be careful, make sure your table's nice and clean. Got another one. A little pencil shaving. I'm gonna go in a second direction to fill in some of those areas. I'm trying not to go up into here, so I'm being very careful with that. Get up into those corners, fill in all those little areas. All right, blend that in. A little bit darker. Now I'm gonna go really dark gray. Really dark. gray. Now this is not black. I'm not holding up here, but I am holding as far. It's hitting my hand right there. I can't go any closer, and I'm pushing pretty hard. I'm going to not try and go out of bounds as much on this one because I don't want to do as much erasing when it gets this dark. But see, it's not black. See, I'm staying inside, and then I'm going in another direction to get right up into those corners. Might need to go in a lot of different directions to kind of fill in some of those. This is where I see a lot of people getting scribbly, all right? Because they don't want to go in multiple directions. They want to get done fast because they think there's a prize for those who finish first. The prize is doing a good job. So take your time, make it look nice. All right, because these are the skills that are going to help you get better at drawing. And there you go. Now I have my 7 different values of gray. We're going to take that into our spheres. I'm going to do one sphere for you, and I'll show you how to use these skills to make a nice transition. What we're going to want to do is gradually go from light on one side to dark on the other and get as many different values as we can. Here's the best way I find is give it a really nice light gray to begin with. Really light gray, right in there. Blend that in, get a nice new area on my paper towel. Then I'm going to start a little bit down on the circle and start shading. If it helps, put your finger over part of it. I'm going to start shading a little bit darker. So now I'm into light gray, not really light gray. So I'm pushing a little bit harder. I'm going to go in multiple directions. And see how that got light all of a sudden? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my paper towel, I'm going to blend that, and I'm going to blend a little bit over that line. So it's going to create a soft transition from one of these values into the next. It kind of now softly goes in. I'm going to cover up a little bit more and push a little bit harder. I'm kind of doing that middle-ish gray now. Multiple directions, okay? And blend it a little over that line. Now, so I'm not just scrubbing the whole thing here like that. I'm very controlled. Okay, see, it looks like it's gradually getting darker. I'm going to cover up a little bit more. I'm going to get pretty dark here. Maybe like my dark gray or really dark gray. Multiple directions and a little blending. Finally, I'm going to either get to the really dark or black. I'm fine with you just getting to really dark. Usually I say black for like a shadow. We don't need a shadow on this. So I'm getting really dark in here and blending a little bit right there. And so now what we can see is a circle or a transition from light, and it gradually gets darker. So the goal here is to not have a stripe. You don't want to draw lines in here and have different zones. I want it to gradually get as it goes across. I've given you 3 of these to practice on. Remember, you don't want to make stripes, more like that. So practice that 3 times and you're done with the value worksheet.